What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, May 4th. It is 10 a.m. Eastern. It's 7 a.m. here where I'm at in Phoenix. And it's beautiful out. It's like, I don't know, 70 degrees. And here, let me pull my mic a little closer. Yeah, it's beautiful. And we're rocking and rolling. Hey, I'm going to put this up real quick before we get going. We would love any recommendations, or if you've had like a really cool result after going through our training, we'd love to hear from you. A lot of times it's hard for us to track and follow up with people, and just, typically after somebody goes through the challenge, it's hard for us to just, keep calling you and be like, hey, how are things going? But we would love to hear from you. So you can go to legendarymarketer.com/featured. And you can apply to either be on the show, or maybe you have a friend or a family member or something who's had an awesome result online, and we'd love to hear from them too. So if you are newer, every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we go live just like this on Facebook. You can see it as a replay. You can see it as you can join us live, or you can see it as a replay on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Facebook, on YouTube, pretty much anywhere you can watch content on the internet, it's probably there. And you can join us in the comments. You can give feedback. You're going to hear from awesome guests who are not only just finding success online, but also living very like, what I think you'll find about this show is they're super relatable lives. Like, a lot of times on these shows, for instance, if you go and like listen to real big name podcasts, yeah, that's super cool. You're going to hear from people who are multimillionaires and own, mid or large size businesses or something. But I think what's really cool and unique about this show is most people on here are literally freelance digital marketers. They're working this as a side hustle in their side or in their free time, similar to how you probably are. And it's really cool to hear their story and kind of watch their journey and follow them on social media. So if you're newer to our community, I would challenge you to set a reminder on your phone to join every single day and make it a priority, make it a thing you do, rather than, listening to Fox News or watching CNN or something like that. Turn off cable news for a second and tune in to this show every single day. And I think it'll make a big impact on how you look at life and how you look at business and all of that. So we're going to bring on our guests for today. For everybody who's live with us, I see all your comments. Good morning from all over the place: California, Wisconsin, Puerto Rico, Minnesota. If you guys can give me a big hand clap emoji and help me virtually welcome Sara to the show. Sara, what's up?
Hi.
From Indiana, right?
Yes, from Indiana.
Cool. And you've been on the show a couple times, is that right?
Yes, this is my third. I'm very grateful.
Dang, cool. That's super cool. Okay, well, welcome back. I feel like I've interviewed you once, maybe.
You did. You were the first one to interview me on the show.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Right on. So you found Legendary a while back. It's been a long time, but like 9 months ago or something, maybe.
Yeah, I found you guys back in August of 2021.
Okay. For people who haven't seen you yet, haven't met you, bring us into your world a little bit. How did you find Legendary? What sort of brought you to search out Legendary or find Legendary? And what's the last 9 months been like?
So how I found Legendary was on TikTok. An older woman around my mom's age was had a bunch of content saying that she was able to quit her 9-to-5 job, started her own business, and I thought for sure this was a scam. And I'm like, okay, well, she's either lying and I'm going to lose $7, or she's actually right and I could change my life. And at the time, the company I was with, Maverick Transportation, I was a fleet manager for them, and we were all sent home to work from home during COVID. And then they decided to bring us back into the office 2 days a week in July. And that lasted for a month because then COVID hit again, and then we were all sent back home. But that 1 month that I was in there for 2 days a week in a cubicle again, I thought I was in jail. I was like, there's got to be a better way to live. I was looking around and I'm like, there's no way I can be 35, 40 years old and still doing the same job with the same people in the same space that you can't breathe in, you can't listen to music, you can't get up and move. And I was like, okay, there's more to life than what I've been told my entire life. So then I just dove in and took action. And now I'm literally living such a beautiful, great life. I didn't know I could be so happy.
That's super cool. And I also echo that, like, just stuffy cubicle thing. It's funny because I feel like everybody's got a taste of that. Like, yeah, in yesterday's show, Dave was saying how, for the last like 8 years or 10 years or whatever, everybody's made fun of him because he worked from home, or he had like this work from home thing, and everybody's like, oh, he doesn't even have a real job. And now everybody's like got a taste of it, and they're like, dude, I'm not going back to that. Are you kidding me? That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, it's such a disruption in the way people think about work and in the way that we're working. Yeah, that's so interesting. It's so you had this fleet job, you go through the challenge, you start like basically start your business. Was the shift or I mean, you didn't fully shift because you were still doing this in your spare time, but finding the time to do that, and then also, was the shift to like becoming a content creator, like business owner, like a lot different than a job? And how did that go for you? Or do you have some entrepreneurial like characteristics in your personality, or was it like hard, easy? What was it like?
So to create content and start, I was very nervous about it at first because I never really used social media at all. I was somebody who
Mm,
didn't have a TikTok until I started with Legendary. Didn't post on Instagram, never really went on Facebook, just kind of like an
mm,
observer more than a producer, which I then became. So I switched from being a consumer on social media to producing. And that helped me because you can get a lot of negative feedback or critiques when you start posting your personal stuff on social media. So taking a step back and realizing like this is for my future, this is for my business, like I'm not using it for personal use anymore. So
mm,
I was very when I went on social media, I was on it and then was off. I wasn't scrolling and looking at other people. Like I was on there for a specific purpose. And once that purpose was satisfied, I would jump off. I wasn't trying to be wrapped up in what everybody else was doing. I knew what my focus was and I did it. And then
mm.
I would, give myself a break.
Cool, cool, super cool. And in your experience of going through, well, so when you went through all of our stuff, you went through the basic, um the 15-day challenge, and then you also went through our blueprints, and then so basically for the last 9, or let's say 7, 8 months, something like that, you've just been going at it and grinding. What are some lessons that you've learned from beginning in August? And like, what are some hurdles that you've overcome? And like, cause everybody thinks kind of like, I'm not going to make a big income claim here, but you've made well over $10,000 online, and that's super cool. And most people don't, honestly. Like, I'll just give the full disclaimer. Like, most people don't even get close to that. A lot of people don't even start the training. But and that's just real in all of life. It's just true. But it is true of our training. Not everybody really implements things. Not everybody is committed and consistent, right? And but you've done that. I'm sure over the last like 8 months, there's been a lot of learning lessons. Like what takeaways have you had? What's been easy? What's been hard?
So my biggest thing that I preach is consistency plus action equals results. If you can, especially when you're first starting, like the biggest hurdle is to start. Like just get over your fear. If you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and once you step out into your uncomfortable zone, that's when the growth starts. And then you're consistent. You know, when I first started, I was posting 3 times a day on TikTok. And then once I had enough content to have backups to create new content on TikTok, I would use my old content and repurpose it on Instagram. So I was always a step ahead on one social media platform versus another one. So that helped me in the beginning. I still utilize that. A hurdle that I faced was back in December. I went through a bunch of life changes. Like, you know, I quit my job in December to focus on my business, and you know, pardon my French, but shit hit the fan personally for me. So I thought for sure, like, okay, this is when I'm going to grind. This is when I'm going to, you know, scale up and rocket, you know, go from 10,000 to like 20, 30,000. And you know, whatever we believe in, but God had a different plan for me. And so I took a step back from my business. I did not have like the mental capacity to continue to learn and put one foot step in front of the other. I had to focus on myself personally and get my mind right. So now I'm like, okay, here I am in my new place. I'm ready to go. And then boom, this opportunity falls into my lap and I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. Here I am. But during that whole entire time, I was still doing stuff, but I wasn't doing it as much as I was. Like, I wasn't creating content once a day for like 5 hours because I'm the type of person that I like to just sit down, do it all, and then I'm fine for like a week. And then I don't have to worry about it for like 6 days. So I put a halt on that. And I found that all the content I had already had was still working for me. Like I was still making commissions and my system was still up and running when I was literally not even touching it. And I was like, wow, this is why I committed. This is why this works. And if you just start and you're consistent, especially in the beginning, you will get results if you're taking action. Bottom line.
Mm.
I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you take the time to learn these marketing skills, because people don't understand that, like, yes, what I learned was through a course, but the course taught me it's kind of like school. You know, I paid to sign up for this program. I went through the program, learned it, and then benefited from it. Like, I'm making money online. Didn't know that that was even a thing not even a year ago. And here I am, like, able to
Yeah.
quit my career job because of legendary marketer. I'm very grateful. Like anybody that's watching, I highly recommend because it's possible. I'm living, breathing proof.
Totally, super cool. I feel like there's just this element of you speak with a lot of certainty, and I think that that's a big testament to your success because there's a level of when somebody who's done something you want to do speaks to you with certainty and clarity, you know, consistency. What did you say? Consistency plus action
Equals
plus
results.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes when people start, they get into that first week or two and they don't start seeing results yet. And their expectation is sort of off in terms of like, what does consistency and action mean? Like, how long are we talking? You know what I mean? They're kind of like, okay, great. Yeah, well, I could do something consistent over 10 years and yeah, but like I don't know if I want to wait 10 years, you know, as where I think other people are like, okay, if I really knew that after 60 days of being consistent and taking action every day, that I was going to get a result, I could do that. I could do that. But it's the degree of certainty, right? And so what I found, and I've done a little mind hack that's similar to this, but what I found is that if I sort of imagine or I put this expectation that it will come it will happen. The results will be there, and it's a guarantee. I take a lot more action, and I act differently. I think of one example when I was first getting started online. A good mentor of mine did this thing, a training, and he called it the millionaire. What did he call it? The $1,000,000 day. Okay, so basically, what it was is you would create in the days leading up to your $1,000,000 day, you would create an exercise. You create a huge list of everything around your house, around your health, around your mental, emotional health, around your yard, or maybe your backyard, or whatever it is. But all of the stuff that you've been wanting to fix, light bulbs, and our water heaters, like, for the last month, been constantly acting up, right? So all of these things that are lingering and building up this sort of pile of anxiety, I guess, like things that are just like, oh my gosh, my closets are full of crap and all of this stuff. And you would accomplish it in one day. You'd take the day off work, or you'd do it on a Saturday. And the bargain or agreement is, okay, if I'm able to do this, I will make $1,000,000. I get 1,000,000. That's my prize, right? And it's not, in reality, I don't have $1,000,000 to give myself. But the thought is that in conjunction with all of that accomplishment, and in conjunction with ridding yourself of all of that baggage, the result is that over time you relieve all of that baggage from your mind and body, and all from your energy. And over time, that releases a creative fuel. And for entrepreneurs, and this was a training for entrepreneurs, that's everything. That's your livelihood. That's your business. That's your ability to make $1,000,000, if that's your goal, whatever. It is this fun exercise, and I've done this a couple times, and the amount of things that you can accomplish, but also it helped me really go after it and make decisions and act fast. And I sort of transformed in that day into a different person. And it reminds me of what you're talking about with this sort of consistency and action with a degree of certainty behind it. Because I think when people see it as like, this is a certainty, this isn't a if, maybe, it could be, whatever. If you're able to sit down and believe with certainty that your consistency and action over time will result in what you want, whether that's to make money online or to whatever, it'll work, it'll happen. And you'll literally become a different person. You will function differently, and you'll be like, damn, I didn't know I could do this. That's like why we get people on this show like you and Dawn yesterday, who's 78. Because there's an element of which people are almost shocked by their own accomplishment, their own ability to like do something they never had imagined. You didn't even know a year ago that this was possible, more or less, that you could do it, which is super cool. Sorry, I'm rambling, but it made me think of how confidence and certainty change things for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to a podcast yesterday because we were talking about how people, if you're not consistent, like in 60 days, maybe even a year. But we as a society are so used to, or think that things just pop into existence right then, right now. Like if we don't get our cup of coffee from Starbucks in 5 minutes, like, oh, we're so mad. Or if our Amazon package is a day late, God forbid, like the whole world is falling. Like the world never used to be that way. It was a grind. Like you would have
Right.
to, like our parents, our grandparents, like we would walk to school in the snow. Like, we're not in that age anymore, but just because it doesn't happen with a snap of a finger doesn't mean it's not going to work. Like if you quit, well, then obviously you're never going to get to where you could have been. Like you could be here and here's the line of success and you're like quitting right here. It's like, well, failing, that's not even a thing. If you just consistently continue to work on yourself in all areas of life, then you're going to go this way. I mean, if you stop and you're just always in your own comfort zone, you're never growing. And that's why, like, Yes, my original goal was, okay, does this work? Like, am I really going to make money online? And now that I know that it works, my goal is like, okay, how many people can I truly help change? Like, this is a mindset. This is a way of living. This is not just like, here I am making money online and I've freed myself from the job of, the American dream. No, my dream is to help as many people as I possibly can get out of what we are programmed to be, because that is not a dream I want to be. I don't know who ever wanted, like, oh yeah, I was born to work for until I'm 65 years old, 40, 50, 60 hours a week for somebody else so they make a bunch of money and I get 2 weeks of vacation. Woo. Like, I'm ready. I want to like stop working by the time I'm 30, 35 maybe. But like, even then, I was getting bored with the time I had on my hands. Like, I got myself a part-time job so I could go out into society again and socialize, like, because I can, and because, why not? I don't have kids. I have 2 dogs. I don't have that much responsibility at home. So I needed something that wasn't the bar, wasn't, going out and spending, money to go socialize. So that was a huge thing for me that I've learned too, is like how much connection people are losing, the give and take of working from home.
Totally, totally. And also, oh, yeah. And also, on top of that, what just came to mind too is like, I think all of that happens, all of that process and everything, as cool as that all sounds, for all of us, it happens in this very real way. Like you were just talking before we got on about like working part time at a boutique so you can actually socialize with people.
Yeah.
And like I feel like people why I loved that, I saw that in your questionnaire too, and why I loved that was I thought like, the point of this whole like online business thing is mostly just freedom, right? Like money, but that leads to freedom. And I felt like I was like, there's like cool boutiques and like people who are actually cool business owners that are kind of fun to work for sometimes. Sometimes. But like you can do what you enjoy. That's the whole point. Like is being able to have a degree of freedom that feels internally right and is like I feel happy, like maybe
Yeah.
happiness is the goal, but also just like um, the ability to sort of look around and be like, what do I actually want to do? And I think that that's just a super powerful, like, I loved that example and I loved how real and relatable it is because I think most people in our community are like, that's what people are doing. Like, we're hanging out, whether we're working one job or 2 jobs, or I think that's the reality for most sort of freelance digital marketers is figuring out how many jobs am I going to work? How am I going to fit in my side hustle? Take my kids to wherever, take care of my dogs and get them walks every day. And sometimes people are like, oh man, when you quit your job, it's a binary thing. It's like one or the other. And I think the reality is like it's a little more messy than that. And sometimes people are like, well, if I'm still working a job, I'm a failure. But the truth is like it's not really like that. It's more like life is really long. It's sort of a journey of exploration of self and of income and of money and lifestyle. And anyway, I don't know if I felt inspired or what the word is, but I was just kind of like, dang, that's cool. Like I like that people are just kind of doing their own thing and that this online thing, like that you could not post for a month or a couple weeks or something and just like, hey, that system's still going, like still moving, still shaking, and I think that's super cool too. That's like my favorite part about the online world and online space is like when I first came online, I heard this guy talking about how he used to go sell vacuums door to door, and then he discovered the internet and realized that the internet is basically like he has a million of him, walking around neighborhoods all around the world while he's like, taking a bubble bath or on the golf course or something, and he's got these little clones, and it's his pieces of content. It's his ads that are just doing all of the legwork for him, selling everything that he's, used to sell. We live in a pretty wild time, I would say.
Yeah, it's a great time. Like the world is changing, but you can be the change for the better. Like if not who, if not you, who? If not now, when? Like I always say that. Like I just don't, people just need to get on board and believe in themselves. They need something to believe in, and dig deep and you'll find it in yourself for sure.
Totally. For everybody who's like new to the challenge, take yourself back all the way back to being new to the challenge. For somebody who's newer to Legendary Marketer, newer to our challenge, what would you say to that person who's feeling out the challenge, feeling out like, could I do this? Is this really possible? And that's kind of a lot of times the question is like a little bit skeptical. Could I really do this? What would you say to that person who's watching this show right now?
I would say if you are in looking to start, or you've thought about it, like just do it. Start now. This is the only moment that we really truly have. Like you can say, oh, I'm going to start next week, or I'm going to start next month, or I'm going to do it in the summer when my kids are like on vacation or off school. Like what if you aren't able to even make it that far? Like we aren't even guaranteed 10 minutes from now. Seriously. So start right now, because that's all we really truly have. Like give yourself that. You deserve that. And if I can do it, you can do it. If the people that are on this show daily with Matt and Dave can do it, so can you. Like if not, you got to believe in yourself. I can sit here all day long and say, yes, you can do it. If you believe in yourself and you put your nose and you grind and you learn, anybody can do it, but they ultimately have to believe in themselves. And once they turn their fears into a drive and a vision that they can actually succeed and do something more than what they thought they ever could, then they'll be able to. And the challenge is 15 days long. I think the first video is maybe 15 minutes. Like you could do that in before you go to work, after you go to work, during your lunch break, before you go to bed. Just listen. That's all you got to do is listen to somebody else and learn. Take some notes if you feel the need, and just start. That's what I would say. Because you'll always say like, oh, well, what if? Well, what if this changes your life? You'll never know if you don't try.
Totally. Agreed. And be consistent and take action. And that's the theme. And cool. Sarah, thanks for coming back on the show a third time. Let's do it a fourth time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for taking time out of your day.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll see you on the fourth one. Is this the best place for people to find you?
Yes, that is the best place.
Dope. I love it. Cool. Sarah, have a good Wednesday. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, everybody. Go follow Sarah. So her TikTok, Sara, SARA. There's no H at the end of it. So SARA_affiliate. And you can find her on TikTok. Tell her you found her on the show. Give her some likes on her videos. Comment, blow it up. And then when we've got you on the show in a month or 2 months or something, because you're crushing it, we'll do the same. And we'll put your little TikTok handle or an Instagram account or something on our show, and people can blow it up. If you are newer and somehow randomly you just tuned in, you can text WUL, the letters WUL, to 813-296-8553. We have a text message list. All we do is we send out a text message every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And it's just a friendly reminder, hey, this show is starting. We have a link right over to the video. It's super easy to join the show. So make sure you type in WUL in a text message to 813-296-8553. Make a commitment to showing up every single day to this show. It'll change your business. It will change how you look at starting this business, growing this business. Lastly, if you want any merch, you can get shirts, hats, all kind of legendary gear. Just go to belegendary.shop. Super easy. belegendary.shop and grab your merch. Again, go follow Sara on TikTok, Sara_affiliate. Thanks everybody for tuning in to another edition. We'll be back here tomorrow because if we are anything, we are brutally consistent. And we'll be back here as always, 10 a.m. Eastern. See you guys. Peace.